Welcome back to Horns High Studios for another episode of 666 Seconds of Murder. And you guys know the deal. Every one of these is less than 666 seconds or 11 minutes and 6 seconds. So let's get to it. Got a lot to cover as always. Going to get right down to business. And once again, we're talking Idaho 4. Okay, and this is an interesting video. I think that you'll like, a little different than some of the others that I've done. This video is for entertainment purposes only, okay? Especially this one. These are my opinions, my speculation and theories. I'm not saying anyone is guilty or innocent. That's for a court of law to decide, not me or you. So we're just talking about a case that interests us, and that's, of course, the Idaho 4. Now, I'm going to throw out a theory that's been percolating in my head for the last couple weeks about this case. I haven't heard this anywhere else, and some might feel it's a little bit out there. This is pure speculation on my part after going through the details as we know it. There are some awesome content creators out there doing some hard work to harvest any information about the case. This is what I'm calling my lambs to the slaughter theory. The most difficult thing I've wrestled with in this case, no matter how many theories I've floated out there, from the frat boys to the drug angle, several other suspicious people, with possible motive, means, and opportunity. But I can't rule any one of them out. Then it hit me. What if all of them contributed to what happened on King Road? Could it be that complex? Now, Occam's razor principle states the simplest explanation is preferable to the one that is more complex. And this is usually correct. So I'm definitely cutting against the grain here with this one, but just hear me out. In my personal opinion, I believe that drugs were involved to set this plan in motion. I've heard rumors about one of the victims flushing a lot of product down the toilet. That's not good. People are going to want their money. And I've heard it was a drug house. We've all heard that kind of stuff. I have no idea exactly what happened, but in my opinion, it's drug-related in some way. Something that just might have gotten Maddie over it. Just like we heard on that video, right? That is such a key piece of evidence that has never been explained by the guy that said it, Jack Showalter. They're going to get you, Maddie. Now, I know Kaylee was saying that she saw a guy showing up in public places where she was, and that someone was following her. I believe she could have been tailed by someone in that drug food chain, keeping tabs on her, knowing she's getting ready to leave for Texas. A pro wouldn't have been detected, but a person working for a drug dealer could have been. On the night before all this happened, so the 12th of November, I feel that there were multiple people playing a part in what happened. My guess is that the end game was to simply get those four in that house when no one else was around but the two roommates that were left unharmed. That's my opinion. I believe that Dylan and Bethany were part of it, and they may have not known the extent of what was going to happen, but they definitely knew it was going to be something violent. I'm pretty sure they would have known at least that, but we really just don't know. I think Dylan was designated to stay home and make sure to keep any stray college kids looking for a party far away. She was tasked to keep the house chill and be there when the four of them got home so she could report to someone their status. Once she reported to them the four were in their rooms and going to bed, she left out the back sliding door and left it unlocked. I believe it could have happened around 2 a.m., which would jive with that rumored video from the film class. She would return after it was over to clean up and make it look like something different had happened and get rid of anything the cops shouldn't see. I believe Bethany would have ran out the front door and left it open so whoever was coming to commit the crimes could enter from either entrance. They would both be unlocked. She would return after it was over and was most likely in communication with her sorority, which was the same one that both Maddie and Xana belonged to. Remember, those secrets that they keep. And one of the sorority sisters had a white Elantra. Just saying. Before all this, Bethany was tasked to keep tabs on Xana and Ethan. She claims they were at the Sigma Chi party, and there is some discrepancy about what time they left and exactly what happened there. But she would have had reported to someone when they left, and then Dylan would confirm their arrival at the King house. I believe that a combination of people may have assured Maddie and Kaylee were accounted for. This is pure speculation, but we know that Jack Showalter was with them at the bar, walked with them to the grub truck, and then was at the grub truck with them. He was on his phone, so he easily could have been communicating with somebody about what was going on. And then, of course, we know the moment they ditched him, he's walking with a purpose somewhere and looked like he had something that he was going to go take care of. Don't know what it is. Again, we're just speculating. Now, some say David Loach from Sigma Chi drove a white pickup. There's one multiple times seen in that grub truck video. Was that him? Was he keeping tabs on them as well? What about Jack Decor and Adam Lauda from the Corner Club? Were they in on it too? I mean, who knows? Who knows? And, I mean, you could even go as far as to say the private driver could have been somehow involved in it to make sure they got to that house and didn't get diverted going somewhere else. I believe once things were in place, there was a team that showed up to do the crimes. I believe it's very likely it was Demetrius and Emma involved here. I'm not sure how much they were involved, but if it was drug-related, then it's likely these two had a hand in it. The others that may have helped carry this out would have needed to be people who did stuff like this. This wasn't the actions of some lovesick creeper or even some jacked up frat boy. They could have played some support role, but the actual crimes were just straight up brutality meant to send a clear message that you don't fuck with this gang or cartel. I think it's possible the frat boys were involved in some way, maybe as lookouts. The four running from King Road to Sigma Chi at 3 a.m. in that Banfield body cam video may have been doing just that. They may have been part of the cleanup crew the next morning to erase any sign that Dylan and Bethany saw the carnage, to jive with their concocted story about sleeping through it, cleaning up footprints and stuff like that latent print that they found outside Dylan's bedroom door. Oops. Was law enforcement involved? It's possible. We know that there were clad in black cops at the Banfield at the time, driving a car that sure looked like a white Elantra. Could they have acted as lookouts? Were they part of the cleanup? Or were they dirty and involved in keeping the drug trade alive and well on King Road? Or was their only involvement to find a patsy to hang this on and plant the sheath so no one would look further into this sordid cast of characters? I hate to think they could do this. My only issue with this story is the fact no one has talked. But we know the code of silence with frats and sororities, And I'm sure Dylan and Bethany were scared into silence if it played out like this. I just wish one of them would crack and bring it all down. Well, what do you think? I'm sure this will generate some good discussion. So comment down below and let me know what you think about it. I want to thank the members of the Horns High Club. That's Leslie Perry, Catalyst Dew, FHI67, Christopher Ferguson, Sarah, Batshit Crazy, Christine079, Dovey, Glowy, Justine Cooper, Jennifer, and it's only $1.99 a month. Kept it low, but you don't need to do that if you don't want to. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you checking out another episode of 666 Seconds of Murder.